welcome everybody to this special, very special, on the road edition of From Pillar to Post. I'm going to try to do a little bit more of these here lately, or in the future I should say. Joe White here, back on your internet radio as always. But I got to tell you guys something. I'm going to start off with something, and this is something something that really gets into my, it puts an itch in my crawl, as we say down here in the South. And actually, I'm not even in the South. I am in, what's the hell is the name of this shitty town? I should say that. It's not shitty. It's Neosho, Missouri, just outside Joplin. It's about 15 miles south of Joplin, Missouri. Just got done dropping a load off in Arkansas, near Bentonville. And last Sunday something happened to me. You know, I've only been in my own truck for about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Which, if I'm not using my regular recording equipment, so if you hear diesel engines buzzing in the background and stuff happening in the background and just junk, background noise, I'm sorry. I am sitting at a truck stop. I'm in my truck, so it is susceptible to background noise. But I want to show you guys something. Let me see. I have to save the thing first, so let me find it here. So basically what's happening is Sunday, I go to stop at a rest area in Tennessee. I'm going from Tennessee to, I want to say I was going from Tennessee. I was going into Tennessee. I was picking up a load in Tennessee. And I pull into a rest area. And the rest area, exiting the rest area, cars and trucks, big rigs, funnel into one exit lane. Well, the car lane, the lane where the four-wheelers are, has to yield to us truck drivers. I'm making my exit. I see the yield sign. I think, cool, I have the right-of-way. Yeah, trucks finally get in the goddamn right-of-way for once. Yeah. So I go to pull out, and this car zooms in front of me, so I slam on the brakes. So I'm thinking, clearly the car behind this one sees the fucking yield sign, so I just say, fuck it, and I continue to make my exit. I am in the right. I have the right-of-way. Well, this little old couple comes barreling through, not paying attention to the yield sign, and needless to say, the driver's side passenger part of their vehicle is tore up, and my deer guard on the front of my truck now looks like that. That is my deer guard right there. This part of the deer guard that is bent outward is supposed to be laying flat up against the bumper, going straight across. It now looks like this. So that happened to me Sunday. DOT comes out, which is Department of Transportation, for those of you who are not familiar with acronyms. DOT comes out. They write what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I told them straight up what happened. I said, that old bitch, and I said this right to the DOT officer, which I shouldn't have said it, but I was pissed. I said, that old bitch over there in that vehicle doesn't know how to read a yield sign, doesn't know how to apply by a yield sign, and sideswiped the front of me. Now, keep in mind that if they had been 2 seconds too fast, 2 seconds slower, actually, I should say, I probably would have T-boned this lady and she would have been going to the hospital. Her car, her little Grand Marquis that her and her husband were in, would have been a frickin' pancake. Okay? So, Actually, I was carrying, I remember where it was. I was going to Tennessee. I was carrying a load of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Shout out to Ben and Jerry's. You guys are awesome. Picked up at the Ben and Jerry's plant in Waterbury, Vermont. Taking a load down to Tennessee. Down to U.S. Cold Storage in Tennessee, right there above Memphis, Covington, Tennessee. Shout out to the people at U.S. Cold Storage. You guys are awesome too, 90% of the time. My point is, my front of my truck now looks like this. Every time I pull into a truck stop now, I get stopped. I get stares from other truckers because they automatically think, "Oh Lord, here's this guy who can't drive. Here's this fucking guy who can't drive." And automatically, because I'm a professional driver, folks, I get the blame. Automatically, I get the blame. It must be my fault because it's my equipment that's fucked up. And that's, I'll get to that in a minute, but so now I'm rolling down. I dropped a load off in Tennessee. I have to pick up another load in Alabama. Okay, so the company now knows, my company Prime now knows that my deer guard is fucked up. Let's get back to the accident first, though, before I get to the next step in this, the next hitch in my crawl. So there is a silver lining in that situation. DOT comes out and they go, "How long has it been since you've been inspected?" Now, please keep in mind, folks, that state trooper DOT is different from a normal police officer. They specialize in big rigs because we have a shit ton more laws that we have to adhere to than you four-wheelers, you cars, and pick-em-up trucks out there. So they go, "How long has it been since you've been inspected?" So I just picked up the truck off the leasing lot 2 weeks ago. "Oh, you're getting inspected." So they sent a DOT guy out there, another DOT guy beside the state trooper, to basically inspect my vehicle. Because keep in mind, if they find one thing wrong with my vehicle, it's going to be, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have been on the road anyway." Thankfully, my vehicle passes inspection. Now, the company I drive for, Prime, if you have documentation saying that you got a clean inspection by DOT, the company rewards you for this by giving you a $100 bonus in your next paycheck. So, not only are these old fuckers who can't abide by a goddamn yield sign gonna have to sit there, and their insurance company is gonna pay out the ass for a new deer guard for the front of my truck, and believe me, they're not cheap, folks. But, so I'm going to get a new deer guard, brand new deer guard, which I've been wanting anyway, because the pins, and that's another thing, the pin, there's 2 pins inside this deer guard. Here, I'll load the picture back up, and I'll see if I can point it back out to you. Because it's very, very important that you see this here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little metal ring. See that little tiny metal ring there? I don't know if my mouse is picking it, but there's a little metal ring right there with a pin that goes through 2 holes. Basically, those are release pins to let the deer guard down so I could get the hood of my truck open. That right there, that entire pin is now twisted. So I can't get my hood open right now. Until I get this deer guard fixed, I can't get my hood open. Which means I can't check my oil. I can't check my coolant. I can't check power steering, transmission fluid. Nothing. I can't even change my windshield wipers right now. DOT wanted me to lift the hood up on the vehicle. I looked at him and said, "I can't. This thing is twisted. I can't get the thing open." So now they send me to Alabama. Pick the load up in Alabama. Take it back over to Tennessee. Or take it over here to Arkansas. And last night I'm driving, and all of a sudden last night, about midnight, about 1 a.m. actually. Big ass rainstorm hits, and my wiper blade on my driver's side falls apart. Like the actual rubber part that is the blade itself disintegrates. I have no wiper blade. And I can't change the wiper blades because in order for me to flip the blade upward, in order for me to flip the wiper blade handle upward to change the blade, I have to have the hood open. You see why it's important out there? The point of all this, folks, the point of all this is to stress to you guys to give us some respect out there. I ain't get behind no big rig. Big rigs are slow and they scary. Look, they call us professional drivers for a fucking reason. It's called we know how to drive. 90% of us professional drivers know how to drive better than you do. We have a special license that says we are cleared to operate a 80,000 pound vehicle rolling down the fucking road at 65 to 80 miles or 70 some miles an hour. You guys need to give us some respect out there on the road. If you see a fucking yield sign, yield to us. We have to yield to you. It goes both ways, don't get me wrong. If I see a yield sign and a car's coming, yes, yield sometimes means stop. That's the whole thing. Yield the right of way, which means yield. It's an old English word meaning submit. Let him have his way. Let me have my way. Let me through. I win. So, needless to say, again, this guy's, his passenger side of his car is almost a pancake. They were able to drive away. Nobody was hurt. I drove away. I wasn't hurt. So now I'm on my way to Springfield, Missouri to get this thing fixed. I'm going to have to spend a few days in the shop. I also got a few more things on the truck, like an APU I have to get fixed. But this has been my week so far, folks. This has been my week. This right here. Been like that since Sunday. It is now Wednesday. So, that's what I've been dealing with while the rest of the Twitter is bitching about this Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. I'm having to deal with shit like this. And you fucking, I left my desk job. I left working from home. And I came back out here because I did not want to have to deal with fucking people. And here it is, I'm out here again having to deal with fucking people behind fucking heavy ass pieces of machinery that don't know how to operate them. And that's the funny part. The DOT officer who inspected me told me flat out, he goes, man, these old people out here are the fucking worst. He goes, these old people out here are the worst. He goes, honestly, I'm glad to see one of you truck drivers not get a ticket for a change. I know, believe me, folks, I made sure that couple got ticketed. There's a 70-something-year-old woman out there with a failure to yield on her damn record. Gladly. So that's how my week has been going. All that combined with the fact that the company has jerked me around getting me here, and I'm now bobtailing, which means I do not have a trailer behind my truck. It's truck only. And bobtailing to the yard in Springfield, Missouri to get this truck fixed. I'll be heading in there tonight. I will park. I will make all the necessary arrangements I need to make to get the truck in the shop. And I will have me a lovely steak dinner at the Millennium Building tonight. I think I deserve it after the hell I've been through. Talking a little bit about wrestling. We can talk about wrestling a little bit here. The Superstar Showdown thing in Australia went down. I haven't watched it. I don't have any interest in watching it. I was talking with my friend Robert Wells, who's been here on the channel before, and he's all nice and happy about the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kane thing, and I could give two shits about it. Yes, I get it. It's a butt show. They bought it. They wanted it. They paid for it. Good. Don't infuse that shit into Raw and SmackDown. I guarantee you not many people sat there. I get it. They're trying to drive network traffic. They want to make the show. They have the money for the show. It doesn't matter if they put that thing on the network or not. They're going to make their money. It's an added bonus to put it on the network and hype it and promote it and whatever. But it's not going to sell any more network subscriptions. It's not. And I'm sorry, watching 4 old-ass motherfuckers who are all 4 of them over the age of 40 now, well over the age of 40, taking a spot away from people who could be on that fucking show having the match of their lives. Again, it's a bought show. I get it. But that's taking up a segment on Raw each and every fucking week to promote it. And it's going to continue now through this crown jewel thing when they go back to India. Once again, the fucking people like Triple H and The Undertaker and everybody else from that fucking Attitude Era, let it die. It's dead. It's over. We just had a show in All In that featured nothing but young talent in the business, aside from like fucking Rey Mysterio. But mostly hip, cool, young talent in the business. And then when they had legends on there, they were respected. And they weren't featured in prominent roles on the show. I will say that about All In. At least it served its purpose. It's a glorified show to get over these young talent. The new up-and-coming talent. The next generation of talent. As you're hearing the big rig behind me. I love that sound. That's another thing I forgot to mention. So now I'm parked with this fucking big rig. This bent deer guard. And these truck drivers constantly walk past my truck and looking at it. Like, God damn, what happened to you, boy? Here's the thing to all my fellow truckers out there. Mind your own fucking business. You don't need to stare at my truck. Yeah, I get it. The deer guard bent. It's bent. It looks like an eyesore. I get it. Oh, wow. His deer guard bent. He must have been in some shit. Okay. Look at it for 2 seconds and avert your eyes and move the fuck on. I never get why truck drivers can't, the second I got into that wreck, 3 other truck drivers came running up just to see what happened. Just to see if I was at fault. And this goes to a fellow shout out to everybody who, who's in the business today, who's in the truck driving business. Mind your own business. If you want to say, hey, I was a witness, I saw it, he did everything right, or he did something wrong, fine. But if you're at a truck stop and you see this, a deer guard isn't DOT issue, it's not a DOT regulated piece of equipment, don't stare, don't look, don't move the fuck on, because I'm not going to look at your piece of shit that you're driving, your little piece of shit Peterbilt that you're driving. I could give fuck all about you, and what you're driving, and what you're carrying, and what color your truck is, and whether it's painted, dented, whatever, 7 different ways from Sunday. Just don't wreck me. Don't injure me out there. Don't be safe. Don't endanger me or my load, and we'll get along fine. Mind your own fucking truck drivers are some of the nosiest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Mind your own business, truck drivers. Yeah, it's a brotherhood. We're out here sharing the road. Fuck you. Let me get the fuck down the road safely. As long as I'm getting from A to B without killing myself or someone else, at the end of the day, I could give fuck all about everybody else. Back to wrestling. So they're sitting there carrying a spot that could be, and just like this Evolution show, this women's Evolution. Why are Trish Stratus and Lita on this? Again, 2 women well north of 40. Don't get it. I don't get it. Hell, Mickie James is in there too, but at least she's there each and every fucking week. She's still there each and every week. Sorry, I have no interest in seeing Trish and Lita wrestle. If it's not going to be consistently, After the Royal Rumble, or after WrestleMania, guess what? All those people are going bye-bye again. I don't give a crap about Shawn Michaels coming back. I could care less. Oh, he looks bald. Okay, yeah, he looks like Uncle Creepy, okay? He looks like a fucking midget Hulk Hogan with no hair, okay? You know what? I don't care about his haircut. It's fun to laugh at, don't get me wrong. I had a chuckle about it when I saw it. But goddamn. I could give two shits about this match. I could give two shits about this whole fucking feud. I'm more interested in AJ and Daniel Bryan with The Miz throwing in there. I'm more interested in what Kevin Owens was doing before he got injured. I'm more interested in fucking Miz. And I'm just more interested in fucking Strowman before they fucked him up. I like what they're doing with Dean Ambrose is turning heel this time on the Shield and getting a new push. I could give two shits about the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H thing. As I get a message across my phone. Okay. I gotta scan some trip documents in so I can get paid for it. So yeah, that's my thing on wrestling. I talked about All In a little bit with AC here the other week, and yeah, you talk about all these people getting pulled from the events, and there's a rumor going around that Chelsea Green, formerly known as Laurel Van Ness, is being signed to WWE. I like Chelsea Green. I've seen her many times in Queens of Combat. She's awesome. Royal Rumble tickets are going on sale, which that's in some baseball park in Arizona, I think. You got SmackDown 1000 this Saturday or this Tuesday, which there's a lot of people are advertised for that, and it's going to be another shit show. Let's pull out the legends out the closet, because the goddamn people who are now watching us, who are 30-something years old and 40-something years old, can't let go of 1998. So let's pull them out. Let's pull them out of mothballs. But keep in mind, these are the same people who are popping for this Undertaker, Shawn Michaels crap, and the same people who are popping for Rey Mysterio coming back, and the same people my age. I'm 33. The same people my age and older who are out there popping for all these fucking old people coming back are the same people that 2 weeks later will be sitting there doing like I'm doing now, going, they're taking up a spot. Why is it always around WrestleMania time they got to focus on the part-timers? Stupid marks. Yeah, who's stupid now? See that Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis got moved to 205 Live. AC must love that. That's now AC's favorite show, 205 Live. You got Triple H speaking out about intergender matches. He says, it's funny to me, there's a shock moment to that, and it's a spectacle moment to that. Women WWE superstars don't need a man to make them successful in the ring. They don't need to have a man step in the ring with them to make them have a spectacular match. They don't need a man in the ring with them. They need each other. They need the opportunity. They need the platform, and they need to be set free to do what they do. And when we do that, they rise to the occasion. They have stolen the show. They've been the main event. They will have their own pay-per-view on October 28th in New York. They don't need that, and I think anybody that says, well, to have the man versus the woman, it's just shock value, you don't need it. I kind of agree with him here. Kind of agree with him. But then, when somebody goes and does do it, like what happened with Jordan Grace, people are up in arms about it. Who do you think trains these people? Men. Who do you think these women train with? Men. Except in occasions like WWE that have a women's division at the Performance Center where women are down there training other women. They don't interact with the men in training. So that's the exception to the rule. But on the indies, it's commonplace for it to happen. Why? Because who the fuck do you think trained these people in the first place? Am I a fan of it happening each and every time? No. Do I think it probably should have happened to Jordan Grace? Am I happy to see her in that kind of situation? Honestly, no. I think there's better things that she could have done on that show. Jordan Grace is already over with me and everybody else just off of her working with other women on the indies. Why she was in that battle royal, I don't know. Oh, it's the over budget battle royal. I don't think you went over. No offense to Jordan Grace because she's worth every penny, but I don't think that you went over, quote unquote, over budget booking Jordan Grace. Just saying. You probably could have had her in another women's match on the show. Hell, I would have loved to see her compete in the Tessa Blanchard match and make it a a 4-way, make it a 5-way? I don't know. You didn't need to have her in the Battle Royal in the first place. But you wanted her on the show, so you put her in the Battle Royal. It happens. Would I have done that? No. There's a lot of stuff on that all-in show that I wouldn't have done. The penises thing, I never would have done that in a million years, because let's be honest, I finally went back and watched that segment. It was cheaply done anyway, to tell you the truth. And you got a bunch of indie guys sitting there dressed up as penises that have the look on their face of, this is what we're going to be remembered for. We just know that there's going to be a fucking thing on the internet tomorrow of the identities of the blow-up penises on All In revealed. And you're going to click on the clickbait headline, and you're going to see indie wrestler John Schnavitz was the goddamn penis, along with other ICW superstars, Jake John and Jimmy Jack Funk and Jimmy John Jack and all these guys. They're indie wrestlers who work in the New York area, and they were in the blow-up penises. And you could tell by the look on these guys' faces who were in these blow-up penises that, oh my God, this is what we've been reduced to. This is what we had to do to get our name out there and get noticed. Here, guys, you could have said no. There's a lot better ways to get your fucking face on a goddamn indies show than having to put yourself through that. Sorry, if they would have came to me with that idea, I would have been like, fuck you, no. I'll wrestle. I'll be a fucking extra. Do whatever you want me to do, but I'm not going to sit there and degrade myself like that and say, hey, he's the penis. What are we trying to accomplish here? In 2018 wrestling, where everybody wants wrestling to be taken seriously, wrestling needs to be a sport. Then we have that shit. And it kind of just swings the pendulum in the other direction, doesn't it? The same people, the exact same fucking two-faced people that say, we want to see New Japan-style matches on WWE. But if WWE were to bust out the penis thing, oh God, that's just Vince McMahon. What's the difference? What the fuck is the difference? Anyway, that's how I feel about wrestling right now. It's stagnant. I'm not missing it. I haven't really watched an episode of Raw or SmackDown since May. I'm now one of the guys who are doing exactly what I said WWE should not cater to, and that is I'm one of the guys who on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm now going to fucking YouTube and watching the important shit instead of watching the full show. That's how I keep up with WWE now. And even All In. I watched All In on fucking YouTube, pirated. Hey! Sorry. You didn't get my money, young cucks. That's what I'm going to call them, the young cucks. They probably so are. Anyway. Oh, man. Speaking of penis. Anyway. Anyway, guys. It's getting late out here. I'm going to go get some sleep here in my truck. I want to thank you guys all for listening to this little rant here. And, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about pro wrestling and trucking and the world in general. These SJWs have got me in a fucking bind. And it's like I can't go on Twitter. Shout out to Mecha Random 42, man. She's a beautiful redheaded woman who is openly bisexual. And you can make dick and fart and penis jokes at her and vagina jokes at her all day long and she'll laugh with you instead of being offended. You gotta love a woman like that. That's a woman that That's like, my dream woman right now is to have a woman that I can make dick and fart jokes to and openly make offensive jokes to, and she won't get offended. Anyway. I'm getting out of here, folks. Thank you guys so much for listening here. We'll see you down the road.